locking pin here. You essentially pull this out. This will stay with the car. The whole splitter is sitting at 1.5 degrees of like positive angle.
Meaning it's just shooting air underneath.
Yeah.
I like that. Installing new Aero on my BMW M4. Chris over here made some really awesome stuff. We have currently on the car, this is Turner Motorsports or BMW Motorsports M2PC.
It's discontinued, yeah.
Yeah, they don't make it anymore, and no one really makes a good Aero solution for these BMWs, for any F8x chassis. So we're talking F80, F82, F83, we don't talk about that. Yes, an easy to take off and on design.
Yeah, so this Rocketfish front splitter for F8x Platform is a AOA adjustable and quick disconnect front
What do you
splitter.
mean by AOA for people that don't
Yeah,
know what
so
that means?
AOA is angle of attack. Basically, it's the angle at which the wing is hitting the air. On your rear wing, it's most common. You can see, if you look here, these bolting holes, this is AOA adjustment for a rear wing. Essentially, changing the angle at which the air is approaching the airfoil changes the amount of downforce that the airfoil is producing. That same principle has been applied to the front splitter, where we have a maximum range of +1 to -3 degrees of angle of attack adjustment, and that drastically changes the amount of downforce that the wing produces.
In the front here, this is a carbon composite splitter. Like we said, it's discontinued. I started out with something a little bit different. You guys at track are kind of used to just seeing, well, generation 1 would be wood. Generation 2 for people building splitters, I think would be Alumilite. And then Gen 3 will be some sort of carbon composite, or going fancy mode, which is what we're doing today. So I think I'm on generation 3 because I actually destroyed my Alumilite version. Let's show that real quick. It was part of my splitter. This is like, what is this, like fancy cardboard basically?
Yeah, it's essentially like a honeycomb structure in between two pieces of aluminum. It's great and it's light and it's cheap, but from your video, when it actually started producing load, when it had the proper amount of angle on the front, it's not very strong in the bending direction for this. So it kind of bent and then broke off quickly after that.
So I hit about 140 miles an hour in the front straight of Thunderhill East. I think my PB time around there is like around a 157, just so you guys are have an idea. But my car felt great for about half a lap, and then I started hearing and I knew exactly what it was going into turn 1, 140 miles an hour, braking compression, and the thing folded. Not great. Started making downforce. Actually felt really good for about 3/4 of a lap, but I had to get 1 lap in because I paid for time attack. So I did 1 lap, or maybe I was right at a 2 minute with the flappy thing. Sawzalled it off and did the rest of the day, which is carbon composite, but it is not really making downforce, is it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Or very little.
Upforce maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about upforce, but it's making very little downforce at the moment. Essentially, what we have here is the way that it's mounted. You don't have any control over how the tip is angled on the front of the car.
Right.
And so what he has here is essentially a positive angle relative to the ground. That makes no meaningful downforce effect, because most of the downforce is either coming from the top surface, there's a portion of that, and then the other part is the ground effect of the air getting sucked in and then being compressed under the car and then expanding, coming out. You have that compression zone doesn't actually compress the air. Instead, it just kind of lets more air in and then it flows back to the back of the car. So you end up not making any reasonable amount of downforce, no matter how large this thing is.
And that big wing leads to a big aero imbalance, which I think I've been fighting. So this car has had a huge just understeer issue. I've done a lot of, well, not a lot of things, but I've tried to remedy that with maybe running older tires in the rear and doing stuff like that. But this should really help.
Yeah. Other note, yeah, spring rates are definitely important. The other thing that's you've been plagued with is the fact that you've been squatting in the rear, which makes this worse.
Yes.
So at higher speed, it tilts the front of the car up more, and you make even less than what you were making before.
Right.
So Yeah, that's definitely what you were feeling.
Go ahead and rip this one off. We'll show you guys the design of the old one. We'll show you the design of Chris's new one. And what's your company's name again?
Rocketfish Engineering. So we make parts like this, custom jobs for BMWs, Lexus, anything, we can make it, we can design it. Basic mounting system for the splitter is 4 points. The back 2 points are hinge mounts that have quick disconnect pins. We have this locking pin here. You essentially pull this out. This will stay with the car, and then this will drop off and stay with the splitter. Moving over to the front mounts, we have...
And I'm gonna mention, guys, this does not come off my car. This is not easy, and you'll see how we actually end up taking this off. Yeah. I think I'm gonna be grinding and notching a bunch of old bolts.
The fancy bits of the splitter, but we essentially have grade 5 titanium skid pucks, 4 in total. So there's 2 on the bottom surface. They're kind of a teardrop shape to not disrupt the flow, and then we have these 2 outside pucks, which essentially just protect the splitter from, you know, kind of curbs, and, you know, it's designed to be streetable, and this definitely helps a great deal with doing that.
What are the outside pucks made of?
Also grade 5 titanium.
So it'll throw cool sparks. It'll
throw cool sparks, yeah. If you do a night track day, like Coda or something like that, definitely we'll see some sparks coming off the front of this. So.
Some people, that's all they really want is cool sparks, you know? Okay. Positive 2.3. To jack up the car, we're going to get the front 2 wheels off. And this is going to completely replace it, this Rocketfish airfoil slash wing slash splitter slash beautiful piece right here. Get some rotors. Old version right here, you can see basically using these screws as skids to notch this one over here. Isn't this pad nice? Okay,
yeah, no, it is. I'm used to this, like, dude, it's like laying on my dirty ass floor.
It's my favorite thing. All right, well that one's a beauty. If you had to do a trackside removal, not the easiest thing. We basically have all the bolts out. Ugh.
I think it's solid. Which means that it's just solid carbon, like it's just a bunch of carbon layers stacked up, like 10, 15 millimeters worth.
I mean, this took a absolute hit. And like I said, I hit a tire. That did nothing. This fake eBay ass piece right here took an absolute pounding. We're gonna take this splitter off too. I forgot about that. So that's next, but yeah. The AOA is gonna be completely adjustable, which is the biggest thing we need. This is the old version with the Turner splitter setup. So they just kind of had these drop downs. You can see these are riv nutted in, and we had a bolt head up in here and then a couple torque screws right here. Okay, that'll
buff out.
Took a bit of a whacking right there, but yeah, maybe I do hit that real quick with my polisher.
The oil cooler is kind of sitting like right here, and so the trailing edge actually promotes extraction from the oil cooler, so it can be fully protected while still obviously exhausting the air that comes through this top channel, and then it goes through the cooler and then out the back, still maintaining that functionality, but without any of these pieces.
Assuming a lot of you guys are gonna have that question too, because a lot of the splitters, not all of them, I've seen different ones, different ways, but a lot of them have that cutout right there. No cutout, and that's because we're actually gonna have a void.
Yeah. So there's these blocks, they set the splitter like, you know, about 2, maybe 3 inches away from the cooler. There's quite a big gap between the surface of this and the cooler. And so the trailing edge, and we have like hyper accelerated flow coming from this trailing edge. Since there's like a vacuum in this area, it's gonna pull all of that hot air that's coming through the cooler out with it.
And how do you know all this fancy information?
This whole thing was CFD'd in ANSYS and in AirShaper. This was a full car CFD model. I actually have a full representative scan of the underbody of the car just to get the effect, the full effect, rolling wheels, everything. All the CFD data is as analyzed and as validated as it can be without actually having it. So
you're not just making it up.
I am not just making it up. That doesn't fly. That doesn't fly in engineering, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. it was to try to find this. The reason it got discontinued is because no one knew it existed.
Yeah, no, yeah. Because I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And I would have bought it, but by the time I got to it, it was already
Gone.
already discontinued.
And just to prove my point, guys, on this, that one is supposed to be identical / mirrored to the other one, and you can see it moved quite a bit. So that actually was probably in need of replacement. Maybe we had a little bit better AOA before I did that. I don't know. Let's say we did. Let's say we had maybe. +1.
Did it feel a little better?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Like a decent time of night, but the initial install, we do have to remove the front bumper. Not that big of a deal.
Yeah, 3 in each, and then there's some bolts on the bottom, and then there's I think 7 or 8 bolts on the top. Yeah, 8 millimeters, and then BMW it's like T27s and T30s up top.
Works. So we got this one. It's right here, 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 and here.
T25. Middle ones are T30.
Less death.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Forged wheels under the car. I'm gonna swap these to the rear. Then I got Freshie right up there. Front for next weekend.
Yeah, we got 3 bolts, 3 8 millimeters, and then 1 under the fender liner.
Okay. And this is the most like kind of important one right here. Right?
Yeah. And we'll kind of just peel this back here. And there's one
But that's the one I'm
up
thinking of.
into here, yeah, so I'm just gonna flip.
But if you have a handy dandy Milwaukee wrench, it's easy. So you can see that's the only bolt that's a bit longer out of all this stuff. Everything else is going to be these smaller little 8 millimeters like that.
I only has 1.
Interesting. So that means LCI they sort of changed it in 2018. So
yeah.
You might have 2 if you have a 2018 plus, or maybe different. You might have 2 of these guys if you have like a 15. You might only have 1. Slide. Boom. Easy.
Excellent.
Disconnected. This is the temperature probe. I'm pretty sure that tells us our temperature of the vehicle inside. So we're going to want to reconnect that up. That's the only fancy wire my car has. Like we said, if you guys have the remote parking sensors, those will kind of be hanging out up front. You're going to have to disconnect those from the bumper. Also, you may have the washers squirting onto your headlights. If you have those, you're going to want to disconnect the washer hose as well. But now we got to get this out. One of the issues that's going to come into play is the headlight and the amount of room we need for this bolt to come up. So the internal bolt should be fine, clearancing no problem. This one's going to be a bit of an issue, so we're going to take that off, take it loose. That way we can move the headlight up a little bit and get this out. That goes back. But now the headlight one's going to be in the way. We got to pop this off so we can drill into the crash structure. There's that bottom plate we're going to put back inside.
And I might be able to see that.
It is that direction. Take it off real quick. You can actually see it in the aluminum outline, just in case you guys forget.
Just going to kind of flex this headlight a little bit.
So far, that's been the hardest part right there.
Yeah.
Welcome to seasonal depression. Do a couple, but
Mount the car side hinge mounts. These blocks right here. Basically an M18 bolt, a nylock nut, and then a little piece of 70-75 aluminum. I mean, the stock like shroud for the oil cooler, it's just a piece of plastic, obviously. So those bump stops basically stop the car from bottoming out and hitting the.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, FYI guys, if this thing gets turfed, it's bad.
Lose all your engine oil.
It's not good.
It's not great.
Or just this little piece right here, that guy, boom, slots right in there, and then you have a fancy alignment dowel too, right?
I do, yes.
Which we'll end up using.
18 big M18 bolt. Slot this in. Just kind of drop it in here so that you can kind of see that hole. You're gonna take this bolt and kind of just reach in and then set it on top of that aluminum piece.
This is the hack we're gonna do right here. Just put a piece of tape on here.
Yeah.
We did attempt. This is a 19 on an extended socket. Let's show that we did.
Yeah. So there's a little rivet right here, or a rib stud, rib nut, and it gets stuck while you're entering it. So
that's why we need.
That's why we have this. It's a little angle on it so that we can slip past that. and then get to the bolt that's in there.
So far, hardest part. It's not that hard, but you know, takes a little bit of skill.
Yeah. Just gonna thread this in through there while we're just holding the nut on the top side.
The coolest part about this, guys, is as you can see, that pin, I think I mentioned it multiple times, but we're gonna be able to take this thing off. Literally reach in through the wheel well area and pull that pin and drop the splitter.
Yeah, so we'll
which
cut a
no one does.
We'll cut a little window in the
Plastiques.
mud guard right here.
Yeah.
And then we'll cut this pin off because it kind of gets in the
Oh
way.
yeah, okay.
And then basically you'll have hand access to where the pins are, which is right in this location.
Sick.
Yeah.
That'd be very nice.
All right, so we're gonna just run this down to be close. You'll basically just do that the same way you've been doing it. So just have this in here, and then we'll use a hex to run this down through the nylock. He's using Imperial.
Uh-oh. Because he works on Mustangs.
Yeah, I know. Still.
Okay, so we're gonna put that in the top, capture it, and then we're gonna run this down. This is a 10mm Allen right here.
Yep.
That'll be supplied, and we're just gonna run that until it's nice and tight. Yep. Well, almost tight, because we gotta align it.
Yeah.
Snuggish.
Yeah, snug. There we go. So you just want to loose enough to be able to slide around, but as snugged up as possible.
Sweet. We're just gonna mirror this on the other side, and yeah, and then we'll show you the alignment.
This is a little tool that'll come with the splitter. It's essentially just a shaft, and it's designed to align the two hinge mounts to the splitter on the car. So these two mounts here and here, we just put on these car side hinge mounts. So we need to make sure they're coaxial and in the correct position so that when we go to put the splitter on, we don't have any trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Alignment, this is our center alignment, this is our to and fro, this is all of this.
Exactly, yeah.
So
we just need to make sure that the car side hinge mounts are inside of these two lines with the little T's here, and on the other side here. Arms are.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, we might be doing some hammering.
Yeah. I think we'll be all right. There seems like there is quite a bit of adjustment built into this because it's
but it's only in one plane, right?
Okay.
Because it makes the presumption that these two are the same
So if this
height.
went that way, that's bad.
If it went that way, it might be okay. But if it went down or up, that would be bad.
Besides,
Just hold it. There we
Yeah.
go. All right. Looks like we're good.
pretty good, yeah. It's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. And what's the main reason for this besides doing it once, doing it right? But it would be what?
I mean, I had the idea pretty early because I realized that if you tried to align it with the splitter on, you'd have to guess where to put these and then try, and it would be a bunch of guess and check, pretty much. So I just made this little tool so that the install is kind of just real simple.
Easy, and then that way we can pull it on and off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So these two, obviously since they're coaxial on the splitter, because it's designed to hinge about these two back mounts, they need to be coaxial on the car as well. So.
Right. So if they were a little bit that way, like let's just say both were this direction and tweaked in one direction.
Yeah. So if
then
you
when you
want
put
to come down
them
here real
on,
quick, we
it
can
would
check.
like you'd have to shove it on. So it wouldn't be good. So anyways, very good engineering here. Pretty easy to do, and we'll bolt it down and we'll be good to go.
You can almost reach it from the front.
Right here. Oh yeah, that's sick.
We line up the tension rod with the frame extrusion here. Basically, we're trying to shoot for a straight drilled hole all the way across. We used a 3/8 drill bit, but we did start out with something a little bit smaller. As you can see, it's a straight shot all the way across, and then we use this bolt with a couple washers on it.
We got our same 3 washers on the outside and 1 washer on the inside, and then we are just going to thread in our tension rod.
Notch. So I and maybe you guys are kind of concerned about the oil cooler. So how is that design working there?
Yeah, so with the bumper on, we have obviously air entering this bottom inlet here, and this is the oil cooler right here. Air goes in and down into this area that you see that's on the top of the splitter. Now with the bumper on, this is a big like low pressure zone, so air is kind of just coming through here, and its only escape point is where the splitter is promoting extraction through the flow gets accelerated on this along this bottom surface.
Yeah.
And so as it's coming across, it's actually pulling the air out from the back of this.
Right.
And so I mean I've been driving on the street. I've driven to LA and back. I've probably driven 2,000 miles with the splitter on the car, and I've never had any issue.
No problem
with overheating. So.
And Saturday I will beat the absolute dog piss out of it, and we'll see what happens on track.
Yes, sir. Now you can see the actuation of the splitter. Yeah. Yep. I think that's good.
So we went ahead and marked these little areas. You're just going to want to trim accordingly. But you can see we're going to basically cut here, here. We're going to cut kind of in this little area right here, and the same on the other side. We'll go ahead and cut it real quick, and I'll show you how it turned out. Something along the lines of that. We'll see what happens. Clean it up. All right, really that's all we kind of took out. We just kind of chunked out that little top part and that little piece right there. You can release one tension rod and just kind of get a pretty good little test fit like this before putting the bumper on. But this gives us a really good idea if that's clearing it well. And as you can see right here, it definitely is. So this is the least amount of intrusion. You can obviously replace this part after if need be. It's super inexpensive. You can even find aftermarket ones that are like metal. So yep, there it is. Let's throw on the bumper. And that plastic piece just clicks right in here. It's very easy. You can really literally don't notice much. We're gonna pop that up a little bit. There we go. Yep, we're good. Just a nice couple smacks and we'll be good to go on that. On the inside, that's where you can see the intrusion is right here and right here. And so far we haven't modified the bumper, but if necessary, we'll just trim right here. You won't even notice it. We are all pretty much wrapped up with the front. We're gonna go ahead and put the crash structure back on, bolt that back in, put those little light bolts back in, and then we can pop the bumper back on the front of the car. Crash structure is back on the vehicle. We really bolted this down. I'll check the torque on these real quick. All right, so we went ahead and popped the splitter off. That's going to be the move, right? Oh, there we go. We're gonna get rid of that. And then this is where you do your fender fitment right here. There's the pegs, and we'll tighten it up. What we're gonna go ahead and do right now is I think we're gonna go and mount the splitter first again, and then we'll bolt everything down.
Yep. Maybe we can do that.
Something right now. What is it?
Yeah. So when you take the splitter off, whenever you just like pull the hinge pins and pull the front pins, this is how the car will sit. So these rods will be poking out like little fangs. The good thing is when you remove the splitter, the pucks, the hinge mounts, now serve as your bump stops for your oil cooler. So
Gotcha.
You're still not going to bottom it out and destroy your engine. So
yeah,
that's good.
Don't hit any parking blocks.
Yeah.
It'll be good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Little nub on the lower portion of this, using whatever kind of tool you got, it's just going to make access easier if you cut that off. So we'll do that. Don't cut your cooler. If water starts leaking out after you did it,
You did it wrong.
You did it wrong, yeah. Don't do that. Okay. Right there.
So
Alright.
there we go.
I can kind of eyeball it, so that helps.
Go all the way in.
Yeah.
And
Just so you guys can kind of see this, that's where the pin was. I was actually able to reach in there and I can grab the pin from the front, which is cool. Now that's not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to do that when it's up, but when it's hanging down, you kind of can. So now, go ahead and put these front struts on, right?
yeah. So now we'll just lift it up and then align those to that.
Sweet. Now, overall, this splitter install with your design is super straightforward and easy. Really, you drill a hole, if not 2 holes there. You bolt it into the bottom 2 parts, and then you tighten down these 2 things, and then you basically just cut up this little piece that you honestly barely see. And then we have all this adjustability. And now, what are we on to now? Just the last part.
Yep. Yeah. So we have these little access holes for the bolts for the bottom of the rod ends. So
that's just open.
yeah. So that's just open, and then we'll want to make sure the position's correct here, and then tighten it up.
Tighten it down.
Yep.
And like we showed before, we got that pin, we got the little hinge piece, and we got the cotter. You want to make sure you don't over torque it and like put a side load on this. So you are going to kind of want to, I think, line it up with the rod, right?
So yeah, it does like to rotate
Yeah.
as you tighten it, obviously. So
yeah.
just want to make sure. You actually might want to hold it with it.
So you're just using this to just keep the direction.
Yep.
And we can see it's lined up just with the splitter rod. Boom, boom. So we don't have any side load on that or anything. Pin can come out easily with that little release pin, and we're good to go. This thing looks absolutely sick. And look at that. That's dope. So the idea there is upwards it can move if it smacks something, and otherwise it's creating downforce and it's limited out.
Yeah. Solid.
This little area right here. So we do have the pin right there, but you know, we want to make it as easily accessible as we can. So we'll just trim this up just a tad, and that'll make it nice and easy to get in. This right here is what I went ahead and trimmed out. You can see the outermost bolt. It literally goes to nothing, so it doesn't really matter. And now I have very good access. You see my fingers right on the pin, so I can grab right there, grab the pin and pull it out pretty dang easily. That's nice. We're going to mirror that on the other side. So after trimming the fender liner, we're going to go ahead and bolt back the bumper. Those 2 longer screws on a 2018 Plus, there's going to be 2 screws. You can see one goes right there, one goes right there. Those are the longer ones, and they are both 8 mil. Then we have the shorter ones, which will be for the fender liner. Apparently on pre-LCI, there's only 1 bolt.
Yeah. Well, so I think my fender liner's just broken, so there's only one. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or it fell off.
Yeah.
Cool. So we went ahead and reattached the bumper on the car. Did it in the fender liner as well. Got that nice little pin release. Gonna go ahead and throw the wheels on. Let's set this thing down on the ground, and we will get the angle set on the splitter. Yeah. That looks absolutely sick. Dang. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, bud. Alright, so we're taking a ground reference number.
So we're at 1 degree front.
Positive or?
Yeah, positive. 1 degree, so 1 degree inclination. And on the rear, we are at 0.6 inclination, so we'll just average it out. It's like 0.8 degrees of inclination.
Alright.
So we want to set this for the street, set it for 0.
Yeah.
And then for track, we'll set it at -3 degrees.
Right, so track day next weekend. We're gonna go get some beauty shots of this thing at the track as well. 0.08.
We're sitting at 0.8 degrees.
So that's almost
downward angle. So it's almost on the money.
Yeah.
So actually we're at 0.
And then if we want to increase it,
Yeah. So
we
if you
just
wanna
hit
increase
these?
it, Yeah, well, you take a wrench and you just kind of spin these.
Yeah.
And then it drops. You can kind of see the splitter dropping there.
Yep.
But basically, we'll drop the, we'll turn those here and here, and then it drops the angle.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Let's put this thing to the test now, huh?
Yep, let's do it.
So we just wrapped up the install of this. We did the first test, which is getting it out of the driveway. I did scrape a little bit, but we put it down to its, I took a chunk of some titanium right there. Felt great. So that's good. You want to give it the stand test, Chris?
I weigh about 210 pounds.
210.
So.
Oh yeah, bud.
There we go.
Perfect.
A little bouncy there.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So we are going to go out to the track. We'll do some testing. I think I'll throw a PB lap in right here, just depending on what happened next weekend.
This is my PB lap from the day at Thunderhill West. Now, right here, I am using out those titanium pucks, as you can see right there. We are shooting sparks, and it's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, this day, it was pretty hot. It was already 90 degrees, and you can see I'm getting traffic. Now, right here, I dip it down, another compression zone, hit it, and I do go off just a tad right there. 2 wheels off, but hey, we're sending it, right? Right through Dorito, still looking good. Native 45 on the PB of the day. Keeping it tidy here, trying to cut on it in. This is a spot where I usually experience a little bit of understeer, and it did feel a whole lot better coming through the S's here. Definitely able to keep up a lot more speed. Coming through here, maybe I need to go a little bit faster. I don't know. This is one of those areas I need to just figure out. And right here, I possibly could have gone out to the right a little bit farther before cutting in, just keeping it a little bit more tidy. You can still see I am gaining time, so I'm 0.70, so we're doing pretty dang good here. Coming up over the top, coming down into the compression zone, turning right, coming out. We're almost plus 1 second. Trying to keep the traction down to the ground, hitting it, coming out. We got the super up here. We're just kind of looking at them. We're negative 108, 110. I'm hoping this is going to be a low 120, but I think we did a 121. Yeah, we did a 121.33. Not bad for how hot it was.
All right, so time attack session went well. I think we're in first. We'll see what happens here, but that's always good. Take home a podium with the new, you know, Rocketfish stuff. I mean, like,
considering how hot it is.
Yeah. Did I PB? No. I guess I suck. It's really damn hot out, and that's the biggest thing. But splitter felt great. I think there's more adjustment in the car to be played around with today. I played around a lot with stuff I don't normally, and it felt a lot better. So yeah, we gave those pucks a little bit of a workout. I think they're angled correctly now. So I think I self-clearanced the pucks. Yeah. And everything stayed together super well. It's awesome. Well, what did you think?
I mean, I think a good parity is like you set your PB, which is what?
120 point like something, like 9 or something.
Okay.
But 64 degree weather.
Yeah, so it's 64 versus 105 degrees. It's a 40 degree temperature difference.
And I was very consistent. I was 121 consistently, even when it's hot as balls.
Yeah. So I think with like the tires falling off real quick and traffic, I think with what you said about the balance and how it feels, I think it's working.
I can huck it around like an ass. So I still feel like fully confident in all that.
Second place with a flying 122.208, Brian Castissier. On a monster lap of 121.254, you are event champion for the limited class, Blake Titus.
So you guys can kind of see from that video, but check out the track video as well. I'll have a link down to where to buy this in the description. Also the Instagram to follow, the man himself who built it and his company. So we'll do that, and we will send it.